Welcome back. Well, it's time to talk a little pro sports, and the Orioles are in the middle of what they hope to be a playoff push with just one game remaining in the regular season. Now, if you watched what happened today, it was a bit of a tough one. The O's jumped out to a quick 3-0 lead, and then all of a sudden they watched the Yankees just chip away and chip away, tied up. Eventually, New York would go on to win that thing 7-3. Heartbreaking for any O's fan, as they just have one game left with that opportunity of making the wild card game. Still in the balance, but joining me now to talk about it is a friend of the show, Dan Clark. Now, Dan, just 2 weeks ago, it felt like this season was over for the O's. They get swept in that 4-game series at home to the Red Sox. It felt like everything was over, and since then they turned it around up until today out of nowhere. I can't figure this baseball team out. I mean, I know the game is a game of streaks, but have you ever seen a team that is more unpredictable, that is, than these Birds?
Yeah, one thing they're very resilient, and I reckon that's Buck's influence. Most other teams could have crumbled numerous times down the stretch, but they seem to pick themselves back up, and they're just kind of doing what they need to get straight through.
All right, so let's just say, for the sake of argument, that they win tomorrow, and that would get them into the playoff game. If that happens at that point, what do you do with that starting pitcher? I mean, is it Chris Tillman? He's been the best pitcher they've had all year long. Or do you go with a guy like Kevin Gausman, that a lot of people have figured that he'll have the better matchup if he's the one on the mound? Or do you even consider a guy like Ubaldo Jimenez, who was terrible the first half of the season, banished to the bullpen, and since then all he has done has been the best O's pitcher for the past 2 months?
I would be going with Gausman. I'd rest him tomorrow and go with Gausman. But again, very short leash. You know, if he gets into trouble early, maybe you look at a Jimenez type pitcher or something like that. Jimenez, since he's come back in the rotation, I think it's 7 games he's been back in now. The guy's been incredible. I probably wouldn't start with Jimenez. I'd probably go with Gausman.
All right, well, let's go ahead and look into that magic ball right now. Let's fast forward a week from now. What are we going to be saying about the O's? Did they miss out on the playoffs? Did they make the playoffs? And if they did, how did they do in that wild card game? And are those Baltimore Orioles still playing at this point?
I'll lean on the side of being positive. I reckon they'll get through the wild card game. If it's at Camden Yards, whether it's against Detroit or Toronto. So yeah, I think they'll be playing in their division series. But yeah, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, well, we're all going to be tuned into that game tomorrow. Thank you, Dan, again for joining the show. And I tell you what, there's a lot of fans here on the shore that are really hoping that you are right about that one. Well, it's time for another quick commercial break, but do not go anywhere. We're going to have our top plays of the week coming up next.
Jimmy Atkins from Delmarva. I'm a senior quarterback, MPO only. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insiders.